Deputy Prime Minister of Australia. Prime Minister of Australia Julia Gillard AC is an Australian politician who served as the 27th Prime Minister of Australia and leader of the Labor Party from 2010 to 2013. The first and only woman to date to hold either role. She previously held the roles of Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, Minister for Education, Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations and Minister for Social Inclusion from 2007 to 2010. Born in Barrie, Wales, Gillard migrated with her family to Adelaide in South Australia in 1966. She attended Mitcham Demonstration School and Henley High School. Gillard went on to study at the University of Adelaide, but switched to the University of Melbourne in 1982, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Laws in 1986 and a Bachelor of Arts in 1989. During this time, she was president of the Australian Union of Students from 1983 to 1984. In 1987, Gillard joined the law firm Slater and Gordon, eventually becoming a partner in 1990, specializing in industrial law. In 1996, she became Chief of Staff to John Brumby, the leader of the opposition in Victoria. Gillard was first elected to the House of Representatives at the 1998 election for the seat of Lalore. Following the 2001 election, she was appointed to the Shadow Cabinet. In December 2006, Gillard became the running mate of Kevin Rudd in a successful leadership challenge to Kim Beazley, becoming deputy leader of the opposition. After Labour's victory at the 2007 election, she was appointed as Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, and was also given the roles of Minister for Education, Minister for Employment and Workplace Relations, and Minister for Social Inclusion. On the 24th of June 2010, after Rudd lost internal support within the Labour Party and resigned as leader, Gillard was elected unopposed as his replacement, and was sworn in as Prime Minister. She led Labour through the 2010 election weeks later, which saw the first hung parliament since 1940. Gillard was able to form a minority government with the support of a Green MP and 3 independents. The Gillard government introduced the National Disability Insurance Scheme, introduced Gonski funding for Australian education, implemented the carbon pricing in Australia, and oversaw the National Broadband Network. On the 26th of June 2013, after a lengthy period of leadership instability, Gillard lost the leadership of the Labour Party back to Rudd at a leadership spill. Her resignation as Prime Minister took effect the next day, and she announced her retirement from politics. Since her time as Prime Minister, Gillard has been a visiting professor at the University of Adelaide, the senior fellow at the Brookings Institution's Centre for Universal Education, and has served as the chair of the Global Partnership for Education since 2014 and as the chair of Beyond Blue since 2017. She released her memoir, My Story, in September 2014. Gillard was born on the 29th of September 1961 in Barrie, Vale of Glamorgan, Wales. She is the second of two daughters born to John Oliver Gillard and the former Moira Mackenzie. Her older sister Alison was born in 1958. Gillard's father was born in Cwmg Ratch, but was of predominantly English descent. He worked as a psychiatric nurse. Her mother was born in Barrie, and is of distant Scottish and Irish descent. She worked in a Salvation Army nursing home. After Gillard suffered from bronchopneumonia as a child, her parents were advised it would aid her recovery if they were to live in a warmer climate. This led the family to migrate to Australia in 1966, settling in Adelaide, South Australia. The Gillard family's first month in Australia was spent in the Pennington Hostel, a now closed migrant facility located in Pennington, South Australia. In 1974, 8 years after they arrived, Gillard and her family became Australian citizens. As a result, Gillard held dual citizenship until she renounced her British citizenship prior to entering the Australian Parliament in 1998. Gillard attended Mitcham Demonstration School before going on to Henley High School. She began an arts degree at the University of Adelaide, during which she was president of the Adelaide University Union from 1981 to 1982. In her second year at the university, Gillard was introduced to politics by the daughter of a state Labour minister. Accordingly, she joined the Labour Club and became involved in a campaign to fight federal education budget cuts. Gillard cut short her courses in Adelaide in 1982 and moved to Melbourne to work with the Australian Union of Students. In 1983, she became the second woman to lead the Australian Union of Students, serving until the organisation's discontinuation in 1984. She was also the secretary of the left-wing organisation Socialist Forum. Having transferred her studies to the University of Melbourne, Gillard graduated with a Bachelor of Laws degree in 1986 and a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1989. In 1987, she joined the law firm Slater and Gordon in Werribee.